my family. A family of 5, a husband and a wife, and their 3 boys. I told you that me and my husband were penned in. By the time the police officers and the state troopers got there, they needed life air. Because my 7-year-old son, Justin, and my 5-year-old son, Nicholas, were fighting for their lives because of a choice that a man made to get behind the steering wheel and take a drink of alcohol. Why do I do what I do? I work a full-time job, and I volunteer to come to the victim impact times. Why do I do that? Because I care. I don't want another family to have to go through what my family had to go through, or the impaired driver's family, because he left behind 2 girls the same ages of my children and a wife. They had a loss this week. I do it because I don't want you to get another DWI. Ultimately, it was my decision, but we decided. We made a choice. We made a decision, and we didn't want to see Nicholas suffocate. So we decided as a family to call everybody that wanted to see him for the last time. We decided to take him off life support and let him go to sleep. That's the hardest decision that I ever had to make in my life. And I had to make that decision because of the choice that an impaired driver made to get behind the steering wheel after hitting and drinking. They allowed me to be rolled down out of ICU, that I could hold my baby for the last time. All of you all in here, the ones that have children, they brighten up your day. Even when you feel bad and you see your children, they brighten your day. But that was one of the saddest days of my life, because I was holding my baby for the last time. By the time they rolled me back, it was about 1:55. The doctors coming after they had taken me home, and they told me that my baby had went to sleep. Those were the hardest times in my life. The next thing, the hardest time that I had was to have to be rolled down an aisle like this and to see my family, my husband in the middle of his 2 boys on the side of the casket. Never to be able to see him because of a choice that an impaired driver made to get behind the steering wheel after hitting and drinking. I do this because I care. I relive this story at least 3 times a month. But I do it because I care. I do it because I want to make a difference and to help you all understand why you shouldn't drink and drive. The very thing is that it could just be you and not nobody else. But your family would feel the pain that my family feels. I don't want your family to get this in the wee morning hours. By a state trooper or a deputy or a city police officer telling your family that I'm sorry to inform you that there has been a fatality tonight and you just lost your husband, or you just lost your wife, or you just lost your child. I don't want you to do that. My prayer tonight is that because I've shared my story with you, that the next time you take a drink of alcohol, that my story will pop in your mind. And that you'll make the right choice. And what's that right choice? That don't drink and drive. But the right choice is to carry you a designated driver with you. Somebody, not that has taken a drink, one drink, but somebody that has not taken 0 drinks with you. Or pick up your cell phone and call your family member. And I tell you this, is that your family member might be mad at you for 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, 72 hours. They might be mad at you because you woke them up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or 12 midnight and they were sleeping. But I grant you, the madness will leave. They'll be glad that you called instead of getting a knock on the door saying that you lost your life because of the choice you made. They would rather have you here than to see you stretched out in a casket, not ever being able to see you again on this side. They would much rather have you here. My last point, they said I don't ever talk about my 9-year-old son. I told you that he was 28. And he stays next door to me. He has 2 boys and 2 girls. They are the joy of my life. I enjoy my grandkids. I want my grandkids to be safe on the highway. I want them to live a long, productive life. My last point is my son got married about 4 years ago almost. And he had little tears rolling. Well, I thought that he was crying because the wife, to be had made him mad. But that wasn't right. The little tears in his eyes. He said that the people that were standing by him were not his brothers. He wanted them to be his business. And his daddy to be the one to be able to marry him. But because of the choice that man made on October 8th to get behind the steering wheel after he had been drinking, that was thrown away. My son had to be raised without a father at age 9. Well, guess what? I became mom and dad. My son wanted to learn how to hunt. What did mama do after she could get up and move around? It took me almost 8 months to put one foot in front of the other, but my son told me he wanted to learn how to hunt and do things. That's what I did. I went to hunting class. 18 years later, me and my son still hunt together. I was football mom. Every sport that he wanted to play, he played. But I tell you this, is that I'm not going to ever say that he didn't drink. I'm not ever going to say that. But he was responsible. He stayed where he was. Because I told him that if you got into a tight situation, you need to call your mom. I might pluck him upside the head when I got there, but I would rather come get you than you cause prayer. And he did it. He was responsible. So my prayer tonight is that you be responsible. Make the right choice. Make the right decisions. So that you won't ever have to come back to another victim impact parent. Ever. Any questions? I ask that you take this survey form, that you would answer it honestly. And if you would like to see the car that we had to crash in, I'm going to place it on this table up here. If you want to see it, you can see it. And I actually still have this car in my backyard, on my property. Why do I do it? Because it's a reminder of my nieces and nephews and my family and their children. They bring them to see it back in our pasture. It's a reminder to them why you shouldn't drink and drive. Thank y'all so much for being attentive and listening, and hopefully what the judge has said tonight and what I have shared with you tonight has made a difference in your life, and then when you walk out of these doors that you have a different mindset, that we're not here to scold you, we just here to encourage you, to help you along the way, that you won't ever take another drink of alcohol or do smoke or do prescription drugs and get behind the steering wheel. We hope that what we said here tonight has made a difference in your life, and that you will share it with somebody else that you know that drink and drive, that you can share my story with them, because it's about saving lives, not about taking.